The printer groans as I slam my laptop down and hit power like it owes me. I have mere minutes and just one page to print. But then the tray coughs out something strange 2 pages. Not one. Holding the second sheet. I freeze. This isn't my work, different font. Unfamiliar words. IRASA. Safety plan plus incident log. Draft. Not my name. Not my voice. IRAS hers. Calm and clinical. Language reads like a therapist's report. Subject escalates when confronted. Pattern of control. And something chilling. Recommend boundary enforcement. But it says subject A. Not husband. My throat tightens. A private argument. Twisted here like someone else already heard it and decided the blame. Footsteps approach. She enters. Casual. Sweet. Asking me not to be intense today. Like testing if I still flip a switch. Phone buzzes nearby. Soft. Practiced voice answers with, "I'll send the screenshots after he leaves." My fingers crumple the paper. I realize I am caught in a record she's already building. Deciding what kind of man I'll be. I don't confront. I fold the page. Hide it under my work. And swallow glass. Acting normal. My brain replays. Subject A. Like a brand on my forehead. Night brings cold sweat. Jaws clenched tight. Waking at 3 a.m. Heart racing like a hunted man. Then it spills into public. Small jabs disguised as jokes at dinner. She smiles. Proud. Calling me. Sweet but a certain way. Friends laugh. I burn with shame. Aware eyes watch. Store away the story she's telling about me. She praises my silence afterward like I am marked progress. Shame mixes with rage. Then guilt. Maybe I am the problem. That is her trap. No accusations needed. See doubt until I police myself. A week later, she suggests couples therapy. Not as help, more like a warning label. A neutral setting where her carefully chosen language speaks first. And I am already fighting a losing game. Meanwhile, her charity healing project grows. More meetings, more circles, planning with impossibly noble names. Questioning her becomes attacking women as healing. The perimeter closes. Strangers know my unsafe label before I do. One day, her text demands I confirm I want to attend a weekend retreat. She needs it in writing. For safety, cold clarity hits. I am no longer invisible. She is not hiding. She is building a dossier. I choose silence, not surrender, but strategy. Confrontation is the product she wants. Screenshots, clipped words, proof. So I play useless. Distracted. The dull prey with no edges to grab. Behind closed doors. I collect everything texts with. Safety, technical phrases. Boundary threats. Facts, not feelings. Timelines. Dates. Witnesses. Every subtle jab documented as the ceiling slowly leaks before collapse. One lunch. Windows cracked. Heart pounding. I call a lawyer. Hands shake but relief creeps in. Traction. Finally. Solid ground beneath this storm of control and false accusations. She grows sloppy, leaving her laptop open. I spot tabs and calendars with coded names M. Again. Private dinners disguised as healing sessions. I don't touch anything. Just mark time and sharpening focus. In front of others. She calls my silence a punishment. Narrates me to an audience I can see. Eyes waiting for me to slip. To confirm the story she has crafted. New watchers. New predators. Her charity event. A longtime friend pulls me aside. Dawn text her upset. They whisper. Eyes worried. Then vanish fast. The script is out. Somewhere. Someone waits for my next move. She posts about boundaries and emotional labor with soft sincerity. Comments cheer her on. Meanwhile, in our shared home, I am a ghost, cautious of every word, where she could spin any moment into content. Privately, she asks colder. One night says matter of fact. People believe women now. No threat, just certainty, like the answer S been calculated, and I am arguing against the math S truth. At a charity planning dinner, she introduces me to M. Warm, polished HR leadership. They greet like old allies and mention my Progress. Like a case file update, shock hardens into cold clarity. This is no accident. I watch every detail: the seating, the laughter, the words. Later, she casually notes looping support at my workplace. Protective. No, a move I can TC. On a board far bigger than our marriage. The morning of a big meeting. She sparks a fight out of nowhere. It's sharp, unsolvable. Then she delivers her blow. We're not scary when angry, just pathetic. It's designed to make me snap. My mouth opens to defend when I spot her phone angled. Still thumb, recording for safety. Humiliation turns cold. I stop, swallow my response, grab keys, and walk out, hands shaking. At noon, an email lands: HR meeting. Vague threat. Name CCD from the org chart. My stomach drops. I stare at the screen, hoping the code unravels, but it never does. The trap closes tighter, silent and cold. Messages from friends suddenly pour in friendly on the surface, loaded with coded caution. Are you safe? The word repeats like a secret password I didn't know I needed. My hands shake too much to type. I breathe, ground myself, and write a simple line to HR: please specify allegations. Calm, clean, a refusal to feed their evidence. I immediately screenshot everything: the invite, timestamps, headers. That night she smiles and says, cooperate, and this stays private. The real message is clear. It's about controlling the story, not fear of divorce. 2 days later, a frantic message arrives from a witness not for me, but to protect the charity. Clipped words, hidden lawyer eyes. Check the retreat assets folder. They say, just a hint, no apologies. Alone, with heart pounding, I log into the folder. Inside, a cold playbook: perfect, ruthless instructions on how to label me. Unsafe, and a calendar mapping her private meetings under coded initials. A secret thread shows her plotting to provoke me. He blows up. We have what we need. My anger flashes but fades into cold resolve. This isn't betrayal. This is calculated coordination. Then the prize, an email she forwarded to herself with full metadata, connecting her charity to my company's HR leadership. This oversight is my strength. The trap flips in my mind. I don't confront. Instead, I send all the evidence to my lawyer and an employment attorney with one subject line: preserve everything. The game changes. I find footing in the chaos. She enters the HR meeting poised, waiting for me to unravel. I am calm, tactical, ready to show proof, clear timelines, and expose conflicts she hid. The room senses something's off. The script is failing. I don't perform outrage or argue character. I place documents like files, timestamps, text threads, patterns of baiting and safety framing. The conflict is no longer just personal. It's systemic corruption. Her face shifts. No defensive outburst, no dramatic lines, just an unraveling script as HR realizes the deeper issues: undisclosed relationships, influence, and the speed of concerns spreading through unofficial channels. The meeting ends not with my coaching, but with questions aimed elsewhere. HR launches an investigation into conflicts of interest and undisclosed ties, turning the lens away from me. Weak, I file for divorce not theatrically, but meticulously. Packets, timelines, exhibits, neutral, dated, labeled. No drama, no accusations, just the clear record of reality. Outside court services, she tries one final pull. So you're really doing this to me? Heat rises inside me. I answer steady no. I am stopping you from doing it to me. Her eyes harden, signaling the last battle. She warns, wait until everyone hears your version. I feel cold clarity. I know they've already heard hers for months. But now, the truth stands ready, patiently waiting in the wings. The workplace saga ends quietly but thoroughly. Investigations, summaries, boundaries built around me. The HR leader is removed. Emails lose their undertones, and conversations return to human tones again. Friends vanish without explanation. Messages unread. Invitations die. Others approach with awkward honesty, no apologies, just admitting the assumptions they made. Their honesty weighs heavier than drama would. Living situations settle with minimal drama boxes. Keys, no screaming, no slammed doors. This absence of chaos feels like taking oxygen from a fire. It allows the blaze to finally die down. In the silence, an uncomfortable truth emerges. I made it easy. I hid from conflict. Let us be defined by her narrative. Shielded myself with work and avoidance instead of fighting for our story. She curated the narrative, shaped perceptions, and turned our life into a battleground. When weaponized, infrastructure was already built, and I was left fighting a story that wasn't mine. Surprisingly, I don't feel freer because of her punishment. I feel it because her version of me no longer controls my life. It exists out there, but it can steer my hands or tighten my jaw at 3 a.m. One night, I scrolled to delete her number. It's simple, practical, but my thumb lingers on her last message. Please respect my boundaries. In that moment, I finally understand what boundaries really mean. Boundaries aren't weapons or stories. They are doors we decide to close for ourselves, to stop holding open spaces for those who would manipulate us. That realization changes everything. When trust is weaponized, when love turns to a trap, how do we reclaim ourselves? This story is about control, survival, and the strength it takes to break free without losing yourself. Silent submission isn't peace. It is a slow unraveling, a surrender to stories written by others. Sometimes the first step to freedom is finding your voice amid the noise. Calm resistance doesn't roar, it outlasts. It collects facts, by its strength gathering like storm clouds before the clearing. Sometimes, strength is invisible until it strikes. Betrayal can wear the face of care. Manipulation cloaked in concern. The hardest battles are with those we once loved and trusted, who rewrite the script behind closed doors. Living inside a maze of control means every move is watched, every word weighed. Freedom feels like an illusion. You map the walls and find your path out. Safety becomes a twisted word when wielded as a weapon, an excuse to silence, to watch, to build evidence rather than trust. True safety feels absent when suspicion rules. Her public persona is saintly, while private moments chill with calculated coldness. Living between these worlds blurs reality, making allies out of strangers and enemies of truth. Disarming a narrative weapon means knowing their playbook, refusing to react, and writing your own story steadily, with facts, until the false script loses power. From the sidelines, I watch her script unfold like a slow trap. But now, I am not a step behind. I am tracking every move, every word, every unseen chain laid out to ensnare me. I use restraint as armor, turning silence into strategy. The more she pushes, the harder I build my shield, till her attacks become fuel to strengthen my defense. Manipulative love costs more than heartbreak. It steals identity, rewrites truth, and traps you in a script where you are always the villain. Even when silent, amid silence and anxiety, I reach for legal help. The trembling calls, scheduled consultations, small steps turning chaos into order, fear into planning. Unexpectedly, the system offers allies lawyers, formal notices, investigations. When truth is documented, protective walls rise, blunting false narratives and building space to breathe. Sloppiness exposes secrets, open laptops, forgotten tabs. I glimpse the networks and connections her fortress cracking, revealing the extent of the coordinated plan. With evidence gathered, timelines drawn, attorneys informed, I prepare for the final confrontation, not with fire, but with cold, undeniable truth. Control over our story is the battlefield. He fights with words and images. I respond with facts and patience. The war isn't lauded as a quiet claiming of truth. Friends disappear without goodbyes. Others approach with quiet regret. The social fallout is a mirror reflecting not just loss, but the cost of trusting appearances over truth. Workplace clears me quietly. Boundaries are redrawn, roles protected. The subtle victory is in being seen again as human, not as a risk or a story to wager. Boxes packed, keys exchanged not with battles, but logistics. The absence of hits and slams is the loudest sign of endings. Peace found not in drama, but clarity. Finally, I grasp boundaries, the real ones. Not weapons or tales, but doors we choose to close. Doors no longer held open by fear or false love, but by self-respect and healing. Freedom isn't just about breaking away from control. It's reclaiming your story. It's removing the scripts written by others and standing as the author of your own life. When life scripts us unfairly, what do? Fight, surrender, or rewrite the narrative? Every choice shapes who we become. What will your story tell? Appearances can deceive. Behind every smile might lurk a story of control, betrayal, and survival. Don T always believed what the surface shows. You might be missing the real picture. In a war of words, documentation becomes your weapon. Collect, timestamp, file it as how we protect ourselves when stories are rewritten without our consent. Love should build us up, not tear us down. But sometimes, love twists into power plays, turning trust into traps and turning partners into opponents. Silence can be a choice, a shield or surrender. But in the stillness often lies the brewing storm, waiting to break open and transform everything. After betrayal, trust Dosen T return overnight. It asks peace together slowly, with honesty, patience, and the courage to forge new paths apart from old pain. Sometimes silence is power, a refusal to fuel flames. Other times it has peace, the calm after chaos, when words have lost meaning and actions speak louder. Who tells your story matters. Choose carefully, protect your truth with facts, boundaries, and the courage to walk away when the narrative isn't yours. He wears a mask of compassion online, posting soft words on boundaries and healing a perfect saint. But masks can hide shadows, and not all light is as warm as it seems. Behind the camera, she is colder than ice, not angry, entertained, confident. People believe women now, she says casually. It has a calculated edge that cuts deep where it hurts most. At a charity dinner, she insists I come as if proof I am supportive. She introduces me to M, the ally in HR. The trap net tightens. Your wife says you relearning. They say like a cold case update. Every word, every smile, every comment is recorded on cameras. In minds, in HR files. They watch, waiting for me to slip, to confirm the story they already crafted. She loops support into my workplace. For safety, framed as care but really a preemptive strike. A move to ensure the narrative controls not just us, but my entire professional life. She picks fights strategically fast, sharp, unsolvable, designed not to solve but to provoke, to catch pride and break it down until I am vulnerable and exposed. Then I see her phone dark screen angled deliberately, thumb still, recording for safety. The betrayal is clinical, cold. Suddenly, every word is evidence, every breath a trap. Email from HR comes without details, workplace conduct concerns, names I recognize. A vague threat, an ambush disguised as a meeting invite. The trap is real and closing fast. Messages from friends arrive, friendly tones masking anxiety. Are you safe? They ask, repeating a coded password I never agreed to. Fear wrapped in hidden words makes isolation a new prison. My hands tremble, but I breathe and write carefully a measured response to HR, refusing to be baited. Calm becomes my shield as the storm rages around me. Every invite, every timestamp is screenshotted evidence stacked like armor. At night, she smiles and offers privacy, but the real war is about control of the story. Witness reaches out in panic not to help me, but to protect the charity. Their message is clipped, lawyerish, hinting at a folder called Retreat Assets, just breadcrumbs in a vast labyrinth. Alone, heart pounding, I open that folder. Inside, cold instruction manuals, calculated language, a shadowy schedule that matches her private retreats disguised as healing sessions. A thread reveals the plan. Provoke me until I react. If I blow up, they have the evidence. This isn't chance, it has orchestrated manipulation, designed to trap and control. My first heat of anger fades quickly into cold resolve. This isn't a fight to win with words, it has a chess match that demands patience. Proof. and unwavering calm. Then her mistake, the forwarded email with full metadata, linking her project to my company SHR. In this blunder, find my strongest evidence and a chance to reclaim control. Not with confrontation, but with meticulous care. I send all evidence to legal counsel. Preserve everything becomes my mantra. Preparation sharpens into a powerful weapon. She arrives at HR poised, expecting me to falter. Instead, I am stoic, laying out facts, patterns, conflicts she tried to hide. The atmosphere shifts, her script is unraveling. With evidence in hand, I reveal undisclosed ties between her nonprofit and company HR leadership. The room reacts with shock. The web of influence and secrecy begins to collapse. Instead of coaching me, HR turns to investigate influence, disclosure, and the speed of rumors. The target is no longer my temperament, it's the hidden system manipulating the narrative. That week, the divorce filing is calm, precise, no drama, no accusations, just clear, neutral documentation of timelines and facts. The end of one story, and the start of reclaiming mine. In a hallway, she tries one final weaponized plea to flip roles. "You're redoing this to me," she says. My calm reply, "No, I am stopping you from doing this to me." The power balance shifts. She eyes me coldly, clutching the last battlefield, the narrative. "Wait until everyone hears your version," she warns. I respond with inner peace, knowing the truth is already documented. Stories will always be told, contested and twisted, but a well-documented truth stands firm, a lighthouse in turbulent seas, guiding the way to justice and healing. The end of the workplace conflict isn't loud, but it clears space to be seen again as a person. Boundaries rebuilt, false expectations faded, and respect cautiously returned. Some friendships vanish quietly, others confront their mistakes. Apologies aren't always asked for, just owning the assumptions made, and the cost of silence. Living arrangements end with lists and boxes, not shouting matches. Moving on becomes a matter of simple logistics, steps toward a new life free from manipulation. In the quiet, I realize my blind spots. Avoiding conflict made me vulnerable. I let her define our story while I hid. True strength comes from fighting for your narrative. She curated and weaponized our story, but I reclaimed mine. You are more than the stories told about you. Choose your narrative. Take your power back, and live your truth. Freedom isn't her downfall, it's liberation from her version of me. Her story can exist, but it no longer steers my choices or haunts my nights. When I delete her number, it's not anger or relief. It's understanding. Holding boundaries means closing doors we once left open, not wielding them as weapons. Boundaries are the doors we decide not to hold open anymore. They protect us, heal us, and show respect, not control or punishment. Strength isn't just about defense, it's vulnerability, transparency, and the courage to face truths, even when they hurt. Rebuild a life worth living. In clarity lies survival. Understanding the web of manipulation allows us to take control, write our story, and reclaim the narrative we almost lost. We all face moments of betrayal and loss. The difference is who we choose to become. Do we fall to the story written for us, or rise and write our own? Breaking cycles means recognizing manipulation, setting boundaries, and refusing to let others control your story or your life ever again. The end of one story opens space for healing. It's messy, quiet, and personal, but beyond pain is the chance to rebuild stronger, wiser, and free. Sharing our truths breaks silence and isolation. It's a beacon to others trapped in unseen battles, proof that no one has to fight alone. Twilight, I pause and reflect, not on pain, but on survival, growth, and the decision to keep moving forward with clarity and strength. Freedom is redefining yourself beyond what others wrote. It's stepping out of shadows into your own light and embracing your true story with courage. Letting go isn't weakness. It's strength, the path to reclaim peace and happiness, shutting doors that no longer serve, and opening new ones with hope. Boundaries define us. What doors will you close to protect yourself? What stories will you refuse to let control your life? The power lies in your hands. So many battles are fought silently, Hidden behind smiles and perfect posts, behind every story is a truth waiting to be uncovered. Recognizing manipulation is like mapping an unseen battlefield. Only when we see the terrain can we start to navigate toward freedom and peace. Silent resilience is the quiet kindling that builds a fierce fire within. It has patience, courage, and steady refusal to be broken by another's story. Stories can be weapons or shields. Learn to wield your narrative wisely. Don't let others write your history for you. In a world of doubt and manipulation, evidence is vital. Facts guard us when feelings are questioned and stories twisted, and things don't feel right. Trust your gut. It may be your first line of defense against hidden dangers and silent betrayals. Confusion blinds, but clarity frees. The path may be painful, but understanding the truth allows us to reclaim control and begin again with purpose. Rising above manipulation means standing firm, setting boundaries, and refusing to be defined by someone else's story. It is hard, necessary. Calm and strategy often win where anger fails. Patience, planning, and clear evidence shape outcomes better than emotional reactions. Trust is fragile, easy to break, hard to rebuild. Navigating its complexities requires courage and wisdom in whom we let inside our story. Protecting your story means choosing who gets to tell it and how. Document, stand firm, and live your truth, no matter the outside noise. Healing starts where boundaries are respected. Creating safe spaces within ourselves and with others is the foundation of true recovery and growth. Every ending is a doorway to new beginnings. After the storm, there is growth, light, and the chance to rewrite our story on our own terms. In the face of adversity, you choose the story you live by. Will you be the victim, the survivor, or the author of your own destiny? The choice is yours. It takes courage to face uncomfortable truths. Only in acknowledging reality can we find the strength to change it and reclaim our lives. Breaking free means leaving behind toxic cycles and stories that no longer serve us. Yes, painful but liberating. A necessary step towards self-love. Trust in ourselves and others can be rebuilt. Slowly and with intention. Restoring self-worth comes from standing tall and refusing false narratives. The darkest times teach us the most about resilience, boundaries, and the power of truth. Emerge stronger, wiser, and ready for new chapters. Self-respect is not negotiable. It is the foundation that holds us steady amidst storms and the beacon that guides us to better relationships and peace. Your story is yours to write, no matter the chapters before. The ending is a blank page waiting for you to fill it with truth, strength, and freedom. The question remains, are you ready to reclaim your narrative, to close doors, set boundaries, and take the pen to write your life's story anew? The power is within you. What truth have you been holding back? What stories remain unspoken? Sharing them can be the first step toward healing and freedom. Vulnerability is strength's companion. Letting down walls may be scary, but it is where connection, healing, and true freedom begin. Your story is important, unique, and powerful. Don't let fear or manipulation silence it. Speak, write, live it authentically every day. Healing isn't a destination, but a journey. One step, one choice, one boundary at a time. Keep moving forward with courage and hope. Breaking free starts now, not when perfect, but when ready. Take that step. Close the door. Find your peace beyond the stories written for you. Ask yourself, what door will you close today? What boundaries will you set to protect your truth? The power to change lies within your hands. Your life, your story. Don't let anyone else write the ending. Choose courage, truth, and freedom. It asks your journey, own it fully.